When Tyler Perry went out to clubs and partied with friends and went and participated in the gay lifestyle like everybody else, Tyler Perry's probably been gay since he was a little kid.
Probably knew he was gay from a young age, even when he partied and embraced the gay lifestyle. Recently, a shocking revelation about Perry discussing Christianity with Bishop T.D. Jakes went viral. It was reported that Jakes strongly shared his thoughts on what Perry's stance should be. Tyler Perry has paid out millions of dollars to keep his secret. Perry has been in the spotlight, but a current debate revolves around the animated series Asterisk. The Boondocks Asterisk is a major part of Black culture. Though the show ended in 2014, it's still widely discussed because it tackled important topics and wasn't afraid of controversy. A Twitter user recently reignited talk about an episode titled Asterisk Pause. Asterisk, that aired in June 2010 during the third season, Perry and other critics felt the episode crossed the line, suggesting Perry was secretly gay and used religion for success. Aaron Magruder, the show's creator, and his team created fictionalized versions of Perry and his famous media character. The episode's title refers to a phrase used to clarify what a statement could be misunderstood as implying someone is gay. In the episode, Perry is portrayed as Winston Jerome, a powerful entertainment figure who hides his sexual orientation by manipulating others with religious messages and movie themes. Jerome seems to be brainwashing his crew and actors, frequently mentioning Jesus and isolating them from their families. Many speculated that the show aimed to create more controversy and potentially damage Perry's reputation. It suggested that Jesus advised Perry on what women find appealing, and there's an implication that Perry himself is attracted to certain individuals toward the episode's end. While writing for his play, Perry's character discovers shirtless men, and Jesus is depicted as approving, "And I found them my shirtless men." And Jesus was pleased in one scene. Jerome drops his refined accent and begs Grandad for some physical intimacy, to which Grandad questions if all the cross-dressing and religious theatrics were just a ploy for him to sleep with men. Greg Braxton from Asterisk, the Los Angeles Times, Asterisk called Asterisk Pause, Asterisk one of the most public attacks on Perry, comparing it to critiques from other African-American directors like Lee Christian Keyes, a well-known figure, allegedly helped the episode gain attention again during an Instagram live session. Keyes talked for an hour about his personal experiences with sexual harassment in Hollywood. While he didn't name anyone directly, he hinted at who it might be, and people quickly figured it out. He spoke about feeling uncomfortable with a man who boasted about hiring young Black men. Although Keyes hasn't revealed the person's identity, he hinted that non-disclosure agreements could be why. But he clarified that these
Tyler Perry has paid out millions of dollars to keep his secret. Millions.
agreements wouldn't prevent him from going to the police if necessary. He expressed his frustration about the world, praising someone who harassed him without knowing their true nature. Kay mentioned having recordings that could provide proof of the incidents. The portrayal of Perry as a gay cult leader in the episode was likely influenced by these claims from Keyes, including instances where someone tried to get into bed with him or offered him money to. Many have conjectured about Perry's sexual orientation, and leaked video purports to demonstrate that those close to him, from friends to colleagues in Hollywood, know he's gay. There are persistent questions about Perry's sexuality, but you can tell he's impactful by looking at him or using his two eyeballs. Perry has also been spotted with Bishop T.D. Jakes' family on a number of occasions, raising eyebrows. Bishop Jakes is well known for his celebrity connections, including those with Perry and Diddy, has long been associated with Perry. However, things took an unexpected turn when Perry visited Jake at his church, the Potter's House, and touched him in what appeared to be a symbolic act. This was noteworthy because Jake is usually treated with great respect as a spiritual leader. Perry then prayed for Jake, asking for God's favor and Jesus' blood to cover him. Shortly after, Perry gave $1 million to Jake's ministry, which many saw as a generous and faith-filled act. But others questioned if Perry bragged. This jaguar was driven by hidden agendas. Wright openly questioned whether Jakes had actually received the Holy Spirit from Perry, which sparked more discussion about the influence of money in the church. Some questioned Perry's kindness and whether there was more to it. Others were skeptical of his combination of fame and religion, as well as how he treated others. Perry added, "They don't understand where I come from," which struck a chord with churchgoers more than with Hollywood. In the midst of this, there have been several megachurch controversies, one involving Bishop T.D. Jakes, the senior pastor of the Potter's House in Dallas, who was mentioned in a recent lawsuit involving music producer Diddy Combs. I understand it in Hollywood, but I'll tell you something about the blood of Jesus. According to the complaint, Jakes could be able to enhance Colin's public perception. A federal agent conducted a raid on Combs' houses in Miami and Los Angeles as part of a sex probe. Reports of trafficking have been made against Combs throughout the last year. In February 2024, producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed a federal lawsuit in New York, claiming that Combs and his friends were engaged in trafficking crimes. In the 73-page complaint, Jones claimed to have unquestionable proof that Combs intended to utilize his relationship with Bishop T.D. Jakes to lessen the bad effects of Cassie Vora's lawsuit on his public perception. Prior to their out-of-court settlement in December 2023, Cassie Combs' ex-girlfriend filed a lawsuit against him, accusing him of abusing her throughout their relationship. Unverified social media rumors also surfaced, claiming that Jakes attended sex parties that Combs sponsored. At a Christmas Eve ceremony at the Potter's House, Jakes seemed to address these allegations, saying that the worst that could happen if any of them were real is that all I'd have to do is truly repent, since there is enough power in the blood. McKinley, the host of the YouTube channel Tough News TV, claimed to have received an anonymous email claiming that Cassie Ventura was helping the FBI investigate Diddy. The email also suggested there was more to Diddy and Bishop Jakes' relationship, asserting that Jake was not truly a man of God, but rather a freeman like Diddy. This claim caused Jake to become embroiled in further controversy. He went on to assert that although Diddy had lost his authority and protection, his spirit remained enslaved to the devil, and that he could never avoid that destiny. These accusations caused a flurry of activity on social media, with Jake's name becoming popular as a consequence, per an email between Diddy and Bishop T.D. According to reports, in June 1983, Kim Porter said that Jakes had been suspected of having an affair with a young guy soon after he got married. Jakes is said to conceal the actual nature of their connection. All of this allegedly happened at the Emmanuel Temple of Faith in Smithers, West Virginia. Rumors from Jake's hometown suggest that he has been secretly involved with men for a long time, and there are even whispers about an older pastor being involved. The incident was reportedly kept quiet in 1999 when another man apparently threatened to expose Jake, but mysteriously disappeared. It was rumored that the man had been paid to stay silent. However, 2 years later, he was found dead from a gunshot wound to the head. McKinley, a YouTube U, also said that Cassie Ventura had provided investigators with damning evidence, such as a USB drive with video from one of Diddy's infamous parties and Kim Porter's covert phone. Jakes was accused by McKinley of attending one of these parties and having sex with many males. He said that a young guy and many male escorts were prepared to support his claims, was getting ready to file a lawsuit against Jake for allegedly acting improperly toward him when he was only 16 years old. In 2014, rumors that Tyler Perry may have been engaged with a guy who subsequently turned out to be a former employee surfaced. The conjecture regarding what Tyler Perry had been involved with in Hollywood didn't appear to be in his favor. Following an altercation at Perry's studio office in October 2013, Perry moved to court to get a restraining order against his ex-employee Joshua Soule. According to Perry, Soule had barricaded himself inside the building, forcing the whole studio to evacuate. After 4 hours of attempting to remove him, he managed to disable security systems and alarms and crawl inside via ceiling panels. Local law enforcement then charged him with criminal trespassing. Perry requested a protective order, $100,000 for intimidation. There was a catch. It was claimed that Perry and Soule had a romantic connection, which Perry intended to discontinue, but Soule wasn't ready to let go of. Perry wanted to pay Soul $25,000 for her legal bills and demanded that she go through treatment. Soul had never trespassed, according to Soul's attorney, who refuted the harassing allegations. Having broken into the studio, Soul filed a $10 million lawsuit against Brett Hendress, an employee of Tyler Perry Studios, on May 13, 2014. Soul claimed that his boss, Brett, had harassed him sexually when he was employed at Tyler Perry Studios. He said Brett had grabbed him improperly, made unwanted approaches, called him a baby, and even offered him narcotics in return for sexual favors. Soul said that after alerting Perry to the harassment, Perry did nothing about it until things became worse. Along with suing for creating a hostile work environment, retribution, emotional distress, and battery, Soul also alleged that Perry had defamed him by labeling him mentally disturbed on Facebook after the event. Soul was seeking $1 million in damages. Following many allegations that Perry is homosexual and that he forces relationships with individuals in the business, Boondocks' * episode appeared to hint to something about which many may have conjectured previously. There was even conjecture that, regarding the criticism, Perry said, "I feel that no response is the best response, and I'm going to leave it at that," referring to a different criticism. Perry also dismissed rumors that he was going to sue * the Boondocks for the episode and fired some of his staff. Lee has made comments about his job, but in light of growing allegations and proof from celebrities and industry professionals, many fans and observers think Tyler Perry is homosexual based on his actions and the manner he Jake and Tyler Perry had a close relationship, which made some wonder if something was going on behind the scenes, even though nothing specific had been revealed. He was portrayed in the Walks * series in the past, but not many people paid attention to this aspect at the time. According to sources, Jakes was also cited in Lil Rod's lawsuit and was observed at Diddy's parties many times. A social media user said, "I know it's funny, but big respect to those who look past the jokes and discover what they're really attempting to convey to you concerning Hollywood and the soul-selling industry. The claims of blackmail aren't exclusive to TD." Another user said, "I put on a dress and a wig and Jesus was pleased. That's it." He also had kings and a few preachers inside. Why would a holy guy like himself attend a party when immorality is still rampant? Jakes, it has long been believed that Diddy has sway over other famous people who have visited there. Due to the labyrinth of secrets and hidden truths surrounding his parties, there is much speculation over the true scope of Diddy's power in Hollywood. Some even claim that Diddy's dirt on some of the top personalities in the industry is the reason he has stayed primarily hacks. As the Diddy story as we know it is approaching an end, Jake's silence adds even more intrigue. Untouchable for so long, TDJ's name is the most current to come up in this conversation, but who knows how many other well-known figures may be caught in this web. Complex story, even with new information. Jake has largely avoided talking about his relationship with Diddy, despite the increasing number of questions. And his silence has only led to speculation from both fans and critics about why he hasn't said anything. Since silence in Hollywood often speaks louder than words, many have theorized about what Jake might be hiding by his unwillingness to address the matter, with Shaker dancing to her husband's drawing. Parents simply don't realize that the stress Jake has been going through is probably related to his relationship with Diddy and any unspoken truths. After all, maintaining a public persona while dealing with personal issues and possibly becoming entangled in a web of Hollywood secrets is not easy. This was evident in Jake's 1988 Grammy-winning performance. Since Jake has chosen to keep quiet about his attendance at Diddy's gatherings, fans can only speculate as to what else may come to light in the following months. Who knows? What, at this point, the whole thing is about TD. Regarding Jake and Diddy's mysterious connection, there are still more questions than answers. But one thing is certain: the longer Jake stays silent, the more speculation will grow. Is Jake trying to protect his family and reputation, or is he concealing something far more sinister? As the world waits for more sinister information, it's impossible to resist but wonder whether this is only the beginning of the secrets that Hollywood's top celebrities are withholding. Information, So what will happen next? Will he remain in this jail until the trial begins? Or is there a chance he may be moved before then? As we move forward with this discussion, it is important to take into account the larger picture. Even though TD Jakes is the most recent star-connected party. In fact, as of right now, as of this hour, as of today, as I already indicated, they will undoubtedly file an appeal with the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in an attempt to get the judge's ruling here overturned and get him released. The topic of the next section of our conversation is the other famous people who have been involved in Diddy's infamous parties at Baltimore School of the Arts. When we first met, he approached me on the first day and gave me his introduction. Diddy's divisive world includes many famous entertainers who have attended his parties and have secrets or stories to share. As more reports surface, it appears that many of Tinseltown's biggest personalities have attended these frequently extravagant events, including Usher and Ashton Kutcher. Notably, Diddy's guest list is full of well-known names. We've already discussed Will Smith's surprising relationship to Diddy's events, but he's by no means the only one. For years, rumors about these get-togethers have been circulating throughout Hollywood, and even 50 Cent. But what actually happens behind closed doors, and how might this exposure affect these well-known celebrity careers? Will Smith and Jaden tried to pick her up on a threesome, and you were gonna beat up Will Smith. Is that true? I like when you like this, daddy. You my daddy. I like when you scrambling and scraping for... That was you scrambling what you said. I like when you do it like that, daddy. When you scrambling and scraping for... Hey man, Will Smith being gay and having gay relations with, who was it did it? I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes, so, I declined that because, wait a minute, say that again, was he doing this back then? These freak-off sessions when you were security? Because I'm looking at this lawsuit and that's what they would call it. Free-off sessions, that freak-off things with him videotaping and everything like that. No, I can't say that I was privy to that, but you knew what was going on. It appears that Will Smith and Diddy had a more complicated connection than anyone could have imagined. Because... you know what I mean. Will's son Jaden Smith just came forward with some surprising allegations about how they will allegedly allow Diddy to hurt Jaden. Rumors of Diddy and Jaden having a romantic relationship date back many years. Furthermore, it has been claimed that they were conducting an affair in plain sight, and Jaden's relationship has always been extremely complex. And this is only one of the causes, according to recent reports. Apparently, Jaden can no longer bear to keep this a secret, as seen by his recent revelation. He also said a lot of startling things you are aware of. How Will and Jada Smith have consistently boasted about being the greatest parents in Hollywood, right? It appears that they may have exaggerated that a little. Yes, Jaden and Willow made a great pair. Jaden, though, claims that wasn't actually Will and Ja's fault. Furthermore, it seems that Jaden believes Will and Jat were not just incompetent parents, but also cruel. This is where things become very crazy. Jaden is out there saying that Jat knows full well that Will sold him to Diddy. Jaden was allegedly over them and wanted to be freed at the age of 15. Because of this, we ought to talk about Will and Jay's parenting style and how they almost destroyed their children's lives. It is no longer possible to overlook this to begin with. Will and Jay have spent years preaching to the globe about the same thing, to be honest, though they haven't exactly been living up to their words, as long as it doesn't come. It seems that things did not work out as planned. Will make the famous statement that we don't do punishment in a 2013 interview. Our idea is to offer kids as much influence over their lives as possible while they are still young. You can do anything you like when they act in this way. They've always maintained that they don't believe in punishment and would rather let Jaden and Willow do as they like. In that case, as long as you can convince me that it's the best course of action for your own life. The whole no punishment thing garnered a lot of attention at the time, especially since Willow was only 13 and Jaden was 15. And teens aren't exactly known for having the best judgment. Let's face it. Many think that Will and Jat were just winging it and giving their kids too much freedom at such a young age. As everyone knows, such parenting usually fails. That may not have been providing an accurate account of their lack of self-control. Willow revealed that she and Jaden were the targets of a harsh double standard, with her having to endure harsher punishments simply for being a woman. She also unleashed a barrage of bombshells on Jet's Red Table Talk, claiming that there is no other difference between how black mothers treat their daughters and their sons. Willow claimed that she really got into a lot of trouble as a child and that it gets even juicier after spilling the tea herself. Oh my goodness. It would be like, "You might like you better get up to me," or "Oh no, school's about to be," and I would be in my room thinking, "Okay, I gotta get." But Jaden would be there saying, "The different you ready to," and he would say, "Maybe one moment." Jat has always advocated for women's equality and empowerment, speaking up and being proud of her feminist views, but it seems that a different situation may arise. One might wonder whether Jaden's preferential treatment has a deeper significance than we previously realized, particularly in light of the new charges that Will and Jat reportedly ****, a story that was playing out behind the scenes, with Jaden getting special treatment merely because he was a male. Tell Jaden to tell Diddy that if Willow was really being punished, it raises the issue of whether Will and Jay were being really honest about how they parented. If so, Willow wouldn't seem to have to fear. We had no idea that so much more was going on behind closed doors than we did when Jaden remarked that Will and Jat weren't exactly the devoted parents they had represented. He wasn't entirely wrong, though, if they really believed that their children should have the same freedom to face the consequences while Jaden got away with it. When Willow published the song Whiskey Hair in 2010, she was 9 years old and enjoying the life of a celebrity. While other kids her age were, Willow was forced to perform the song by her father Will, despite her initial reluctance. Not even out of elementary school, she didn't want to face the challenges and pressures of being a singer, since she felt that she was still in school. However, there was a cost, and at such a young age, we were blind to the truth about her condition. When she informed her father about it when she was too young, he essentially ordered her to go get over it and go to the studios, because she had to forgive you and Daddy for the entire issue involving my hair. Mostly because he was such a strict parent at times, like when I was trying to regain trust because I didn't feel like I was heard, or that anyone cared about how I was feeling at the time. Despite Willow's more measured approach making perfect sense, it seemed as though Will was more focused on imposing his own goals on his child star of a daughter. This only serves to deepen the deception, because it doesn't exactly align with the whole "let them do their own thing" philosophy they've always preached. 9-year-old into the music business after all, and all is stated in the wake of Whip My Hair's release. Willow struggled with mental health issues and has been open in recent years about how the sudden, unexpected fame that she received at such a young age caused her to have an identity crisis. It's clear that the strain had a negative effect. I was kind of just circling around the question of who I am, do I have a purpose, and is there anything more I can do? In that connection, they became closer friends than my husband, and I did not understand that I started to treat my husband disrespectfully after introducing him to several ladies, including people we knew as friends and colleagues. The most bizarre part of this, you ask, is that Dwayne tried to separate Will and Jat as well because he was putting so much stress on his marriage to Jat.